I'm with Mark. Mark, positive week this week?
Been a long week, hard week. Put a lot of work in the players, the staff this week, in trying to get that performance out of our system last week and making sure we're productive and we're ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. You had the boys in on Sunday, I guess, to look at the footage. Was it a video nasty or was it a sort of positive meeting?
Yeah, I think everything, there has to be a positive slant on everything you do, and it wasn't a punishment this week. I explained to the players this week, you know, being in every day isn't a punishment, it's an opportunity for us to be better at what we do. So we didn't crucify the players with the footy, we just showed them the bits that they need to be better at.
Yeah. And people have got to remember as well, you are top of the league, 5-6 clean sheets, 6 games unbeaten, so you know there isn't too much wrong at the moment.
No, but what it does, it reinforces to us and to the players that if you come off it slightly, then there's always a slap round the face coming up round the corner, so you have to make sure we're at it every week.
Yeah. Guiseley down at the bottom, but they've picked up recently. They pushed Lincoln all the way in the week. As we always say, old cliche, it's not going to be an easy game, is it?
No, they've had a good run, haven't they, over the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks. They've got some decent results and they've recruited some good players for their level, so we're under no illusions that it's not an easy task, because they'll come and make it difficult for us, and they've got good players as well. We're a nice, compact, decent footballing team, so we're expecting a tough game.
Yeah. You mentioned good players. One of those players is one you actually plucked from non-league, I believe. Jermaine Hylton, he's gone on loan there. So is he one to watch? Yeah,
I recommended Jermaine to the manager there. He rang me about forward, and you know he went to Swindon and got him, and Jermaine's done well for him in the games I've seen, and it can be a threat. So we have to be aware and be ready for Jermaine for certain.
Yeah, it probably hasn't quite clicked yet for him at League One level, has it?
No, he's not really had an opportunity at Swindon. I mean, he played in the playoff semi-final away at Bramall Lane when we beat Sheffield United 2-1. He caused havoc, you know, and he would have played at Wembley, but he fractured his shoulder in the second game, so it was a shame for him. But you know, he's got a big future in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah. Talking about non-league players, Dan Wishart, Ethan Pinnock, both been called up for England. I know you're a proud Englishman yourself. How do you feel about that call up for them?
Well, it's good. It's recognition of their performances, isn't it? Obviously Dan while he's been at Sutton predominantly, and Jermaine and Ethan while he's been here. So it's not ideal for us preparation wise, but for them it's great for them to get the recognition.
So it's nothing that you wouldn't stand in their way and say no, I don't want you there, or you know. So no. Moving on, you pinpointed last weekend when I spoke to you about not being too happy with the striking combinations. Incredibly though, if you look at the stats, Forest Green are the leading scorers in the league, so there must be things that are right.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are right, you know, and we appreciate that, we understand that, and we're constantly looking to be better, which I think is important, that you always strive to be better, and last week's performance gave us room to be better this week, and you know, it will be a different team, and there will be a different combination of strikers for sure.
Yeah. Matt Tubbs has been away at Woking. I know that loan's up this weekend or next weekend.
He's got 3 more games, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So we'll see how he does. You know, he's done fine. He scored a couple of goals. Hopefully he can get a couple more tomorrow against Barrow, and come back, you know, in a real rich vein of goal scoring form.
I know you're always looking to improve and probably add to the squad. Are there people out there that you're constantly monitoring?
Always. There's always people that you have on your radar. And what I won't do is bring him in just for the sake of it. You know, they need to improve the squad, and that's what we'll always strive to do.
Yeah. Just want to touch on Gary Mills's situation. Loses his job at Wrexham, straight into York. It's a funny old merry-go-round, isn't it?
I'm sure his bank manager will be happy. You know, he got paid up from one job straight into another. It's great if that happens, isn't it? Obviously, Gary's got history at York and got them promoted, and the fans are quite fond of him. So I'm sure it'll be a good match there. A lot of work to do for them, but I'm sure it'll be a good match.
Yeah. Also, just finally, I want to talk about Gary Sprake. I'm a big Leeds fan, so I remember him, and your dad played with him. That was sad news, wasn't it?
Yeah, it always is when somebody passes, and so Gary will be remembered for a lot of things, you know, and some brilliant saves and some gaffes, of throwing the ball in his own net and that, but he was definitely a character for certain from what I can remember of him, and he's sadly missed.
Yeah. Okay, cheers Mark, thanks mate.